overhead or direct expenses. So today, let us briefly discuss about what are the components of indirect costs. That means indirect material, indirect labor, as well as indirect expenses.
The previous slide. Previous slide.
This one. Okay. So we have also discussed about this particular equation, isn't it? Ayani?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whenever we are taking this direct component, simply we are getting the first one. So this is the equation 1. Simply we can say this is the prime cost. So if we add the factory overheads with the prime cost, then we are getting the second one, that is works cost or factory cost. Again, if we are adding the administration overhead, office and administration overhead to the works cost, we are getting cost of production. And if we are adding selling and distribution overhead to the cost of production, so finally we are getting cost of sales. That is the total cost. That is the total cost of the goods or services produced during a particular period. So after getting this total cost, if we'll add some margin, then we can able to get the sales, or if sales is given, we can able to get what is the amount of profit or what is the amount of loss. So this amount of profit or loss is known as cost accounting profit, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So by taking in aggregates of indirect expenses, as we have already discussed, there are 5 types of overhead. What are those 5 types of overhead? What are those 5 types of overhead?
Sir, factory overheads.
Very good. Factory overhead. Look here, I have already mentioned. Manufacturing overhead.
Yes.
Administration overhead. That is
Selling.
office and administration overhead.
Yes.
Selling overhead. Distribution overhead.
R&D.
Research and development overhead. So the aggregation of all indirect costs, that means indirect cost of material, indirect cost of labor, and indirect expenses is known as overhead, and overhead can be classified into these 5 heads. Okay. Yeah. Any question? No. Chalo. So let us discuss very briefly about factory overheads or manufacturing overheads. So it is the indirect expenses of operating the manufacturing division of a concern. All the indirect expenses which are related to operating the manufacturing divisions of a concern and covers all indirect expenses incurred by the firm from the receipt of the order until the completion, ready for the dispatch either to the customer or to the finished goods stores. That means whenever we are placing for the order till to the completion of the production. So whenever we are producing the finished goods, either we are dispatching to the customers or we are dispatching to the stores. Stores means warehouse. Okay. So within that, what are the indirect expenses are there? All those indirect expenses are known as manufacturing overheads or factory overheads. So you can take some examples of these manufacturing overheads. It includes depreciation, insurance of your factory, maintenance of the plant and machinery works, building and electric equipment of your factory, stores and consumables, repairs and maintenance of fixed asset, electricity charges, coal and fuel charges, rent, rates, taxes, postage, stationery. That means these are relating to the factory production division. Okay, so these expenses are coming under manufacturing overheads. Coming to next one is administration overheads. So administration overhead is again indirect expenses that incurred in formulating the policy, directing the organization, controlling and managing the operations of an undertaking which is not directly related to the research, development, producing or selling activity of the concern. So these all are linked with the administration overhead. So as we know, all overheads are indirect expenses. So any overheads which are relating to the office and administration activities are coming under administration overhead. So it includes all the expenses incurred in the direction, control and administration. That means including secretarial accounts and financial control of an undertaking. Good example is your salaries. If you are paying salary to your managers, salary to your employees, rent of your office, rates, insurance of the office, power, that means electricity consumption of the office, maintenance. So these all are coming under administration overhead. And next one is selling overhead.
Sir, agent salary direct expense.
Salary?
Salary count as a direct expense, no?
No. We are paying salary to managers. Each manager is directly working in the factory or production unit. Are you getting my point?
No, sir. Working in the office, sir.
Office manager, upon office re bosle, apanakar factory achi. Suppose you are sitting in Sahid Nagar, your factory in Manchester. Factory re apanakar production la, office re apan kon kale? Apan order receive koruchanti, manage koruchanti entire activities of your business organization. Are you directly involved in the production process?
No, sir.
So, sir, salary can be direct and indirect, both those who are included in the production, in the manufacturing, their salary.
Supervisor. That is supervisor
Yeah.
expenses. Jota mu kahithili, supervisor salary, that is direct expenses. Subject to if your supervisor is including in a particular department, particular machine. ଯଦି ତମର 5ଟା ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି 7ଟା ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି 7ଟା ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ କୁ ଗୋଟିଏ ଆପଣ ସୁପରଭାଇଜର ରଖିଛନ୍ତି ଗୋଟିଏ ସୁପରଭାଇଜର କୁ ସାଲାରୀ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି ସେଟା ସେଗ୍ରିଗେଟ ହଉଛି ଏପଟ ସେପଟ ତ ସେଇ କେସ ରେ ଇନଡାଇରେକ୍ଟ ହେଇଯିବ ବୁଝି ହଉଛି ନା ନାହିଁ
Yeah, yes, sir.
सर माने जोड़ा फुल टाइम सेटा डायरेक्टली जीवो सर किंतु जोड़ा पार्टली सेटा इनडायरेक्ट रे आसीओ सेटा सर
देखो डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस हमें क्या कहा कहउछंती बट डायरेक्ट कंपोनेंट कोन व्हिच कैन बी इजीली ट्रेसेबल व्हिच कैन बी इजीली आइडेंटिफाएबल
यस
let's say you are the supervisor you are working for 5 departments can it be easily traceable
yes
if the organization is paying 50,000 salary per month to you can it be easily traceable the answer is simply no because how much time you are devoting for each and every department that depends मानसटा डिपार्टमेंट को गोटे डिपार्टमेंट रे आपण 6 घंटा समय दोछंती आ चारिटा डिपार्टमेंट को 2 घंटा टाइम देउथुए कोदर गोटे डिपार्टमेंट को 2 आवर्स दोछंती आ चारिटा डिपार्टमेंट को अगेन another 2 hours दोछंती so in this way are you getting my point
yes sir
how much time you are devoting so same basis रे हमें classify करिया so that is coming under indirect because it is not easily traceable are you getting
yes
so please remember these are the administration overheads. Again, selling overheads are associated with the selling activities. So it is the cost of seeking to create and stimulate demand and securing orders, and comprises the cost of soliciting and recurring orders for the article of the commodities that dealt in and of efforts to find and retain the customers. That means it is all about your selling activities. So once the goods produced from factory or from your warehouse till to the customer, what are the expenses already involved in various activities? So these are coming under selling overhead. Sometimes we are merging together selling and distribution overhead, we are also saying. Okay, so it includes the expenses relating with the selling and marketing, that is excluding distribution expenses, because we are only talking about selling overheads here. So sell office expenses, salary, commission, and other expenses related with the sales department, your showroom expenses, advertising, if any, advertisement expenses. Sometimes we are also making the fancy packing. If you are going to any shopping mall, whenever you are asking for a gift pack, otherwise जेतले तोर packing होजी सेटे से पचार दो सर कोन gift pack हबो एगो gift करिवे. Are you getting my point? So gift pack is also consists of certain expenses, free samples and gifts, after sale services, expenses, demonstration and technical advice to the customer, cost of marketing, information system, etc. So these all are coming under selling overheads. These are coming under selling overheads. Please remember. Indirect expenses. Okay. Next, overhead is distribution overhead or distribution expenses. It is the expenditure incurred in the process which begins with the making the packed product available of dispatch and ends with making the reconditioned return of empty package, if any, available for reuse. So that means in order to distribute the product from the factory or from the warehouse to the point of consumption, to the point of consumption. So this all these expenses associated with these distribution activities are coming under distribution expenses. So it comprises of all expenses incurred from the time the product is completed in the works, that is factory, until it reaches its destination. Where is the destination? Point of consumption. Point of consumption is the consumer or customer. Example is warehouse rent, salary. Salary to whom? Salary to the distribution staffs. Again, insurance. Sometimes we are also taking the transit insurance in order to transfer the goods or sending the goods, dispatching the goods from one destination to other destinations. Rates and taxes of the go down and warehouse. So these are coming under distribution expenses. So all expenses related with the warehouse, storage and go down are coming under distribution expenses. Okay. So next one is research cost. So it is the cost of searching of new improved product, new application of material or products or new application and improved methods. Sometimes we are also creating some new know-hows, new methods for production. So these all are coming under research and development cost. So development cost is the cost of the process which begins with the implementation of the decision to produce a new improved method and ends with the commencement of formal production of the product or by that method. So any activity which are relating to the research and development process are coming under research and development cost. In order to create new things or to invent new know-hows, new production method, or sometimes we are also using some new technologies. So these all are coming under research and development cost. So this is coming under research and development overheads. Please remember. So these all are 5 types of overheads as we have already discussed. So these are some expenses which must be includes whenever we are which must be excludes, not includes, whenever we are preparing cost sheets. Please remember. Okay. What are those? Just I am showing you. So these are those expenses which may be excluded wherever we are preparing the cost sheets. So item of expenses relating to capital assets, capital losses, payments by way of distribution of profits, and matters of pure financial charges will not be considered and do not form part of the cost. Any capital assets or capital losses, payments by way of distribution of profit, distribution when we are distributing the profit by way of payment, either we are paying dividend or we are paying interest to the debenture holders or shareholders. So these are some certain expenses of the company or organization. So these are not coming under cost sheet. So you can see these are the pure financial charges, like loss arising from sale of fixed asset. Whenever we are selling fixed assets, if any loss we are incurring, that is not coming under this. Again, loss on investments, discount on issue of shares and debentures, other securities. If you are taking interest as a bank loan, so interest on bank loans, mortgage, debentures and other borrowings, expenses on the company's share transfer office, damages payable, penalties and fines. So these all are purely financial charges. These are not part of the cost sheet. Okay. Again, appropriation of profit. Appropriation of profit is otherwise known as the segregation of profit. So after earning certain amount of profit by the business organization, how it utilizes all this amount of profit. That means it can donate, or it can also use for some charity purpose, taxes on income and profit. Sometimes it is also paying some amount as dividend, some amount as interest to the debenture holders. Again, additional provisions for depreciation on fixed assets or bad debts, capital expenditure, so etc. So in this way, the company or the business can segregate its profits. Again, whenever we are writing up the intangible assets or any fictitious asset, intangible assets like your goodwill, patents, copyrights. Okay. So whenever we are writing of all those expenses, these expenses are also not part of cost sheet. Again, purely financial incomes like rent receivables, profits on sale of fixed assets, transfer fee received, interest received on the bank deposits, if you are keeping some amount of money, if you are getting some interest, or if you are investing somewhere else, definitely you will get the dividend. So these are the financial incomes. So these purely financial incomes will also not be the part of the cost sheet. Abnormal gains and losses are also not part of the cost sheet. Please remember.
Yes.
Abnormal wastage of material. That means any wastage due to accident or due to defects of the machinery. Again, wages paid for abnormal idle time. Abnormal idle time means, let's say, laborers are working within the factory, but at the same time, let's say, breakdown happens. Machinery breakdowns. ଯେତେବେଳେ machinery breakdown ହବ କଣ ହବ, labor ମତ ଅଛନ୍ତି factory ରେ, they will sit idle, so we are paying for them. Okay, so these all are abnormal gains and losses. These are also not part of the cost sheet. Why I am saying so? Try to understand, whenever we are talking about cost, what are the components we have already discussed, whether it is direct or indirect.
Yes.
All are part of the cost. So our duty is to identify what are the direct costs and what are the indirect costs. That means direct cost of material, labor and expenses, indirect cost of material, labor and expenses. So after that, again, indirect component, how we can classify them into these 5 overheads. After knowing this, our cost sheet is over.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's why you must be very, very careful. Otherwise, if someone is saying, sir, I am not taking, let's say, selling and distribution overhead. One expenses related to selling and distribution overhead, sir, I have already put under office and administration overhead. And my total cost is also same. And what is the profit others are getting? My profit is also same. Yes, your total cost and profit will be the same. But thing is that
Agree.
you are not in a position to classify them under different categories of the overheads. So what will happen? Whenever we are adding office and administration overhead, what we are getting? Cost of production. Either your cost of production will be more or less, and your total cost or cost of sales will be also more or less. That means your cost of sales and cost of production, there will be vary.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Total cost and cost of profit will remain same. So thus these financial expenses and incomes are not part of the cost sheet. Please remember. So this is the cost sheet, as we have already discussed, that it is a statement that is designed to understand different classification of cost.
Previous slide, please. Previous slide.
Previous slide. Okay. So these are all financial expenses and incomes which are not part of the cost. We have already discussed. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sure. So cost sheet or statement of cost means what? We have to decide a particular document or particular statement in order to ascertain what is the total cost and how we can able to break up the total cost into different parts. Okay. And we can also able to get what is the unit of cost of product or services. So let us see. This is the format of a cost sheet. Please remember, you need to follow this format if you are getting any type of question relating to preparation of cost sheet in your exam, a statement of cost, you need to follow this format. Sometimes in your question, it may ask you to prepare the cost sheet by taking the total cost. So in that case, you need to follow only one column, that is total cost column.
Yes.
Someone is asking something, I hope. No. If some unit of production is there. Let's say for producing 1000 unit of product, these are the cost. Then in that case, you need to find out the cost per unit. Let's say for production of 1000 unit of product, direct material cost is 1 lakh. Then what will be cost per unit? Are you getting my question?
Sir, 100, sir.
Very good. Excellent. So in that case, when cost of your output level is given, cost of production is given, you can able to find out what is the cost per unit.
Yes, sir.
First, you need to identify what is the cost. That is our duty. And the total cost can be break up into various components like your prime cost, wash cost, cost of production, total cost or cost of sales. That is our objective for preparation of cost sheet. Otherwise, if you are adding all the costs, finally you can able to get what is the total cost or cost of sales regarding your production. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But why you are breaking up all the total cost into various components of cost like your prime cost, work cost, cost of production? Because it can be easily traceable by the management accountant or cost accountant or the production manager that where our cost is more. Let's say under works overhead, our works overhead expenses is more. So when the production manager will focus or estimate the next lot of production, then it will give emphasis on works overhead.
Yes.
जदि हमें क्लासिफाई करिबा तबे जानि परिवारे हमर ऑफिस एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ओवरहेड एते कोन होची, प्रिंटिंग एंड स्टेशनरी एते कोन खर्च होईची, कोन तमे पेपर यूज करूछो, नेक्स्ट लॉट रे हमें कोन करिबा, इफ विल मॉनिटर, इफ विल वॉच क्लोजली, देन वी कैन एबल टू रिड्यूस at least जदि हमें कहबे जे प्रिंटिंग एंड स्टेशनरी कॉस्ट इज मोर, नो नीड टू प्रिंट ऑल द डॉक्यूमेंट्स, यू जस्ट सेंड द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मेल, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मेल रे जो ऑर्डर हमें प्लेस करिबा, हमें जदि कहबा ताको गोटे कौन गोटे पॉलिसी में इंप्लीमेंट करिबा जे मेल कम्युनिकेशन इज वैलिड. That means we can able to reduce the paper cost, the printing cost. Are you getting my point? So that's why we are breaking up this total cost into various components of cost. That is the main objective for preparation of cost sheet. नहीं तो ऐसा नहीं है कि डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट एंटर कंपोनेंट को ऐड कर दो, फाइनली यू विल गेट द टोटल कॉस्ट. Anyway, you will get the total cost. So after getting the total cost, if you know the margin of your profit, you can also able to determine what is your total sales. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So the main reason for this breakup of the total cost into various component of cost is to control the cost. हमें जानी परिबा को अंडर बा को हेडिंग रे ज्यादा एक्सपेंसेस होउची, तो सेही पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी को जदि हमें एम्फासिस दबा बा सेही पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी को हमें जदि क्लोजली मॉनिटर एंड वॉच करिबा, then we can able to reduce the cost in that particular activities. Okay, so this is the format of this cost sheet. So by taking this format, this particular slide, I hope we have already discussed. Yes or no? How to get prime cost, wash cost, cost of production, total cost.
Yes,
Please take a note of it. This is very, very important. You should remember this. Then only you can able to prepare the cost sheet. Please.
Yes.
Okay. So let us take by taking some arbitrary figure, arbitrary amount. We have already taken one cost sheet or statement of cost. So here total quantity of production is also given. What is the total quantity of production?
1000 units.
1000 units. Look at the top. Cost sheet, statement of cost and profit. So bracket में दिया हुआ है quantity is 1000 units. Yes or no? So these are some arbitrary figure already given. So let's get some idea about the cost sheet. How we are preparing? Direct material 1 lakh. For 1000 unit, if it is 1 lakh for one unit, per unit, what the cost will be? 1000 unit production करिया पाई हमारा total cost is 1 lakh. So per unit will be 100 rupees. Again, direct wages 25,000 for 1000 unit. What is per unit?
25.
Very good. Direct expenses 5,000. 5,000 divided by 1,000 per unit is 5.
Yes,
So direct material plus direct wages and direct expenses is known as prime cost. Isn't it?
yes, sir.
So if we'll add all these 1 lakh plus 25 plus 5,000, how much we are getting?
1,30,000.
Very good. So if total cost is 1,30,000, total prime cost is 1,30,000 for 1,000 unit of product, then what will be per unit prime cost?
130. Yes, sir.
It is very simple actually. But your duty is to identify what are the direct and indirect component of cost and what are the indirect costs which are coming under various overheads. Then only it will be easier you for preparation of cost. Okay.
Yes.
Then look here, after getting prime cost, we have already got the prime cost as 1,30,000. So you just add the factory overheads. So these all are components of factory overheads. Wages of foreman, electric consumption of your factory, storekeeper's wages, oil and water, factory rent, renewal and repairs of the factory, factory lighting, depreciation of the factory, consumable stores expenses. So these all are the expenses which are coming under production overhead, factory overhead, or works overhead. Any doubt about any component of the cost under factory overheads?
No, sir.
Are you getting my point? So
Yes.
if you add all factory overheads, what is the total amount of factory overheads? 17,500. 2,500 plus 5,000, sorry, 500, 1,000, 500, 5,000, 3,500, 1,500, 500, 2,500. So if you add all these, you will get total factory overhead is 17,500. अगर ये 1,000 यूनिट प्रोडक्शन करने के लिए 17,500 हमको आ रहा है, तो what is the per unit cost?
17.5.
17.5.
How did you get it?
17,500 divided by 100.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
So prime cost add factory overhead. So whenever we are adding the prime cost with factory overhead, okay, what we are getting? We are getting factory cost, wash cost, or production cost. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So what is your factory cost here? 1,30,000 was the prime cost. Now your total overhead, factory overhead is 17,500. So what is the factory cost?
1,47,500.
Excellent. So if for 1,000 unit, if you are spending your factory cost as 1,47,500, what is the per unit cost divided by 1,000?
147. Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes,
बात
sir.
समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Sure. So we have already got the factory cost. Now let us add the office and administration overheads. Sometimes office overhead and administration overhead both are same. That means office overhead is also coming under administration overhead. Please remember, don't be confused.
Yes.
So these are the administration overheads. So what are the component here we have already taken? Office rent is given, repair and renewals of the office is given, office lighting is given, depreciation of the office is given, manager's salary is given, director's fees is given, office stationery, telephone charges, postage and telegraph. So these overheads are relating to administration, office and administration. Yes or no?
Yes.
All these overheads are relating to office and administration, and these are the indirect expenses. हाँ या नहीं बोलो?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you add all these, that means all office and administrative expenses, we can able to get the office and administration overhead. What is the summation of office and administration overhead? 11,875. Are you getting?
Yes.
So if
Yes,
you
sir.
add all
What
these,
is depreciation of office?
all these, if you add all these up, what is the amount you are getting? You are getting 11,875. Isn't it?
Yes.
So what is
Okay.
depreciation of office?
Depreciation of
Office.
office. That means what are the equipment you are using in your office? Depreciation may be also there. Let's say you are using AC in your office. You are using a printer in your office. उसका depreciation नहीं होगा क्या?
Computer.
Furniture also you are using ना?
हाँ सर,
ऐसा नहीं है
computer
तो
भी
भाई
use
ऑफिस में हम लोग तो नीचे बैठ के काम कर रहे हैं.
हाँ सर.
Are you getting?
Yes, yes, sir.
Depreciation of office means ऑफिस में जो कुछ assets है उसका depreciation हो सकता है. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the total administration overhead here? 11,875.
Yes.
अगर 1000 यूनिट प्रोडक्शन करने के लिए हमको 11,875 11,875 rupees if we are incurring the total administration expenses, then what is the per unit expenses divided by 1000? So it will
Yes.
be 11.875. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
If you add factory cost with administration overhead, what you are getting? Cost of production,
Yes.
isn't it? So what
Yes.
is your cost of production here? Can you tell me?
1,47,500 plus 11,875.
So total we are getting 1,59,375.
Yes.
That is the total cost of production. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If
Yes.
you look at the per unit cost of production, then it will be 159.375.
Sir, this is in case of if a factory is producing only one product, one kind of product. If there is varieties of product, then how we will incur the value?
Varieties of product at a time if you are producing.
Yes.
Also, in that case, for each and every product, you can prepare one cost sheet. Okay. Otherwise, if you are taking group of product at a time, then entire group of products, direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses you have to identify. And indirect component also you have to identify. So after identifying indirect expenses, then you need to classify them into various overheads. Then only you can able to prepare the consolidated cost sheet of group of products.
Yes.
बुझी परछंती ना नहीं माने करंतु तीनटा प्रोडक्ट आपण प्रोडक्शन करछंती, लेट्स से प्रोडक्ट ए, प्रोडक्ट बी एंड प्रोडक्ट सी. सो प्रोडक्ट ए पई आपनकर किछि डायरेक्ट मटेरियल कॉस्ट थिबो ना नहीं? Product B by direct material cost, product C by direct material cost. For each and every product, you have to prepare the individual cost sheet. Otherwise, if you are going to prepare the consolidated cost sheet, then for one unit of product, what is the cost? That means product A, what is the direct material? Product B, what is the direct material? Product C, what is the direct material? Then you add direct material of all these three products, and finally you will get the consolidated amount.
Yes.
Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in this way you will prepare. So this cost sheet is also related with your job costing. So whenever you are talking about multiple product, so for each and every product we can also call it as job. Okay, for each and every job we can also prepare the that is a job sheet, that is otherwise also known as job cost sheet. It is very similar to this cost sheet, but we are assigning some job number or job card number there. So anyway, try to understand. This is the factory cost. So factory cost plus administration overhead, we are getting the cost of production. Okay, total cost and per unit cost. Now we have already got the cost of production. So now we are adding the selling and distribution overhead. So this is the total amount of selling and distribution overhead. Carriage outward. What do you mean by carriage inward and carriage outward? Any idea?
Sir, carriage inward माने purchasing बेले जोटा खर्च होइथियो sir.
Purchasing बेले जोटा खर्च होइथिबो.
Yes,
माने
sir.
करो this is your destination of the business. This is Bhubaneswar. You are purchasing from another destination, that is Kolkata, and you are selling to another destination, let's say that is Delhi.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
whenever you are buying your product from Kolkata to Bhubaneswar, you are paying some inward expenses. It may be transportation charges or it may be others. So
Yes.
this is known as carriage inward. From here, from your point of business, if you are dispatching your goods to point of consumption, let's say Delhi, this is known as carriage outward.
Outward. Yes.
Okay. So carriage outward, salesman salary or salesman's commission, traveling expenses, advertisement expenses, warehouse charges if any. So this is coming under selling and distribution overheads. So total selling and distribution overhead, after adding this, we are getting 3,875. So per unit is 3.875. So total cost or cost of sales is 1,63,215. So per unit cost is 163.25 rupees. Are you getting?
Yes, sir. Yes.
If your total sales, let's say in your question it is given, total sales is 1,89,500. Then you are required to calculate what is the amount of profit. How you get the profit? Here total cost we have already ascertained. So this total cost must be deducted from the sales in order to get the profit.
Yes.
So this is the total profit 26,250. So
Yes.
per unit profit will be 26.25. So if we'll add these two also, we can able to get the per unit cost of the, sorry, per unit selling price of the product. Is it clear to all of you? Did you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes.
सर गोटे गोटे क्वेश्चन थिला
Yes.
सर जदी गोटे तीनोटी प्रोडक्ट हमें जदी तार कॉस्ट बाहर करले आपण कंसोलिडेटेड बाहर कर देले किंतु तार सेलिंग प्राइस जदी डिफरेंट रहला केमिति से कॉस्ट केमि करियो
Selling price?
डिफरेंट रहइबो माने गोटे रो 100 टका रहला गोटे रो 200 टका अछि गोटे रो 300 टका अछि तो
सही केस रे आपन को इंडिविजुअल ही बाहर करिया पड़िबो बेले बेले जो मैडम जो जिंस कथा पचारु थले बने करंतु आपन गोटे टीवी तयारी करछन
आगे
ठीक अछि टीवी टा कोन होबो गोटे असेंबल ऑफ मल्टीपल प्रोडक्ट ना
हां
आगे
so whenever we are assembling multiple product finally you are getting the tv is one product so seithi apna fix karibe what is the price जदि आपनर तीनटा मानेकर प्रोडक्ट मु गोटे वाटर बोतल तयारी करूची गोटे मोबाइल फोन तयारी करूची आ गोटे बिस्किट तयारी करूची सो तीनटा प्रोडक्ट रा कोनसी प्रकार रिलेशन नाही सो केस रे सही केस रे कोन करिया पर इंडिविजुअल प्रोडक्ट वी नीड टू प्रिपेयर द कॉस्ट शीट एंड वी कैन एबल टू ascertain what is the amount of profit
सर रेंट ता कोन तीन जण पाखरे केमि परसेंटेज वाइज कोन सेटा हो ऑफिस रो रेंट हो प्राइम कॉस्ट हो बाकी जो सेलिंग ओवरहेड हो जहां सब अछि से सब कोन परसेंटेज वाइज तंगु माने सेग्रीगेट करा दिबो
सेग्रीगेट करिवे आपण जो डिपार्टमेंट करिवे ता यूनिट नै किना करिया पड़ियो सपोज आपण गोटे ऑफिस बा प्रोडक्शन फैक्ट्री कथा मु कहबी फैक्ट्री माने करंतु आपण यूज करछंती तीनटा प्रोडक्ट पई टोटल यूज करछंती 18000 एरिया स्क्वायर फीट एरिया so 18000 स्क्वायर फीट एरिया रु तीनटा जक प्रोडक्ट पई आपण माने कर यूज करछंती इक्वली 6000 एरिया तो सेही थी जदी फैक्ट्री रेंट आपण मासको दोछंती 18000 so 6000 square foot area is per product you will charge 6000 into 1 rupees 6000 into 1 rupees and 60000 sorry 6000 into 1 rupees that means 6 plus 6 plus 6 18000 electricity consumption gote factory apun electricity consumption କରୁଛନ୍ତି let's say you are using what is that 10 number of electric points or some watts also you can take as measurement so you have to define what is the unit through which you can able to segregate. Suppose light points in your factory you are using 100 light points so for 100 light points in a particular month you are paying 10,000 so in this way you just compute how many light points are used by which department for product A machine or product B machine or product C machine like this in this way you can segregate and you can compute the electricity charges and other expenses also various parameters are there on the basis of which you can able to compute. Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, please show an example of these different products.
Different product.
Calculation of how to calculate the different products and how to segregate these overheads.
Calculation of different products.
Yeah, overheads. How to distinguish which overhead is for which product? Can you please show example?
You are asking for different types of product.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then
I'm asking for can you please show the cost sheet, how to prepare the cost sheet for different type of products with a one company and with a different kind of overheads.
okay, let's say you are the supervisor. Okay, the company is producing, let's say the company is producing water bottle and the company is producing, let's say the biscuit and the company is producing bakery product. So you are supervising 3 factories. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So supervisor salary is coming under where?
Factory overhead.
Factory overhead. Very
Yes,
good,
sir.
excellent. So if you are paying supervisor salary, so what is the time you are devoting to each and every department? So for water bottle factory, how much time you are getting? That means how much time you are giving for your biscuit making factory? How much time you are giving? Because at a time you are not supervising 3 factories, or you cannot say that for in a day if you are working for 10 hours or 9 hours, you are not giving at a time 9 hours, 9 hours, 9 hours to each and every factory, because your total hour is 9. So out of 9, let's say 3 hours you are giving to first water bottle, second another 3 hours for biscuit, let's say another 3 hours for another industry. What is that in the example? I hope
Bakery items. Bakery
Huh?
items.
Bakery items. Okay.
Bakery.
So in this case, in each and every day, if you are giving 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, 9 hours, your total working hours. So in a particular month, if your salary is 27,000, that means you can segregate equally 9,000 as your supervisor salary to the first product, that is your water bottle, then another 9,000 to the biscuit, another 9,000 to the bakery item. In this way, you have to segregate. Okay. But wherever we are taking the multiple product, actually, multiple product, if you are assembling, then finally you can able to get the per unit cost as well as per unit profit. Otherwise, it is not possible for preparing the cost sheet to ascertain the profit, composite profit or consolidated profit, as someone has already mentioned. Okay, so try to understand whenever we are preparing the cost sheet, we are preparing the cost sheet for individual product. For individual product. Okay, so by taking individual product, you just compute what is the total cost or the basis of total cost. If the total quantity of production is given, we can able to find out what is the cost per unit.
Sir, how to get the depreciation factory for the if the 3 products are there for one product? If we are preparing as per individual product, then for one product, how to get the depreciation factory and like
You
the
can again charge the depreciation factory on the basis of your square feet area if you are using.
Okay, and the
Okay.
depreciation office, because you told that there are furnitures, there are ACs, those are in the depreciation.
Total depreciation of the office is given, na? Here total depreciation of your office is given.
It will be divided into how many products we are making?
No. If it is 3 products, then on the basis of that, if all these are equal, then you have to divide it into equal. Okay, first you have to identify the prime cost. So after identifying the prime cost, on the basis of this, actually, if certain units of classification is given, then only you can able to classify. Like let's say depreciation, you can charge the depreciation. Let's say three per office, 2:1:2, or 2:4:3, like this. If some proportion is given, then only you can charge. बुझी परछंती ना नहीं गोटे पैरामीटर दरकार हमको सेग्रीगेट करिया पाई जदि पैरामीटर हमें पाउ नाहंती तेबे सेही केस रे हमें सेग्रीगेट करि परिबा नहीं बनेछा सेही केस रे जदि इंडिविजुअल प्रोडक्ट अछि इंडिविजुअल प्रोडक्ट को ही हमें नहीं की चार्ज करिबा
सर मैक्सिमम केस रे परसेंटेज ता देथियो सर
कोथरे
सर मैक्सिमम केस रे जो डिप्रिसिएशन रो परसेंटेज ता देथियो सर
100%.
यस
तमरा एठी मो कहूची जते बेले तमरा आसीबो ओवरहेड कॉस्टिंग देखिबो से ओवरहेड कॉस्टिंग रे तमरा एंटाली से कोन करिवो प्रोपोर्शन इज गिवन अदरवाइज सम यूनिट सेमति मो कहले रेंट जते बेले चार्ज करछंदी फ्लोर एरिया जते बेले हमें माने करंतु इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चार्ज करछंदी लाइट पॉइंट्स so these parameters must be given on the basis of that you can segregate the cost otherwise how you can segregate the cost are you getting my point like supervisor salary as I have already told you what is the time you are giving or what is the duration of the time you are devoting for each and every department for each and every machine on the basis of that you will segregate if number of machine is not given how can you will segregate okay so in that case we'll charge totally so this is the cost sheet we have to prepare for individual product let's say in a lot size of 1000 unit of production, we are the different types of or different components of expenses or cost is given. So by taking these different components or elements of cost, we can able to prepare the cost sheet. Is it clear?
Yes.
So there are three treatments whenever we are preparing this cost sheet. Please remember treatment relating to raw materials. That means stock of raw materials, stock of semi-finished goods or work in progress, and stock of finished goods or final goods. So what is the treatment? If stock is given, please remember, we need to use this formula. That means in order to first we have to calculate the material consumed during that particular period. That is raw material consumed. So we need to take what is the opening stock of raw material. Then we have to add the additions, that means purchase of raw material during the period of production, less closing stock of raw material. Closing stock of raw material. So what is opening stock? That means raw material which is available at the beginning. What is closing stock? The raw material which is left at the end of the production.
Yes.
Then during the period, what is the amount we have already bought?
Yes.
Purchased. So opening stock plus purchases less closing stock, then we'll get raw materials consumed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this way we can able to use the formula in order to consume the raw material. So calculate the raw material consumed. So after getting the raw material consumed, then again raw material consumed plus direct labor plus direct expenses, then you can able to get the prime cost. Okay. Previous case रे हमें कौन कहते हैं direct material already देइछि माने करत एटी हमर opening stock and closing stock is also given. Why? Because we are involving ourselves in a continuous manner. आमे प्रोड्यूस करछंती सेल करछंती तन करी जाति के प्रोड्यूस करछंती सतिक तो इमीडिएट सेल होतबो बा इमीडिएट कंजम्पशन होतबो बोली किछि माने नाही. So at the end, what is the amount of raw material left out? That is closing stock. That closing stock of raw material will be treated as the opening stock for the next period.
Yes.
So in this way, we can deal with the opening stock and closing stock of raw material by adding or by adjusting the purchases or any additions of raw material during that period. So this is about calculation of raw materials consumed. Next, when stock of work in progress is given, how that means opening stock as well as closing stock of work in progress is given. So how we'll deal with it? So please remember, let's say raw material consumed we have already computed, then direct labor, direct expenses is there. So by adding these three, we are getting prime cost. So after getting the prime cost, what do we have to add? We have to add what are the factory overheads or works overheads or production overheads. So after adding this factory overheads, works overheads or production overheads, the amount what we are getting, again, we have to add the opening stock of semi-finished goods or work in progress, less closing stock, less closing stock. Let's say here our prime cost is 1 lakh and factory overhead is 0.5 lakh and opening stock of work in progress is 0.3 and closing stock of work in progress is, let's say, 0.2. So we have to add these three, then deduct this closing stock of work in progress in order to get the works cost. So earlier, what we are doing, simply we are taking the prime cost, add factory overhead, finally we are getting the works cost or factory cost. But here, prime cost plus factory overhead. Then we have to add the opening stock of work in progress. We have to deduct the closing stock of semi-finished goods or work in progress, if any, to get the works cost. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
This is all about work in progress. Okay. Coming to stock of finished goods. If we are taking any stock of finished goods, for treatment of finished goods, again, opening stock of finished goods is there and closing stock of finished goods is there. So here, please remember, first we have to ascertain or compute what is our cost of production. So after getting the cost of production, then we have to add the opening stock of finished goods, deduct closing stock of finished goods in order to get the cost of goods sold, or you can say total cost.
Hmm.
Is it fine?
Yes.
Okay. So this is
Sir,
how.
ଟିକେ sir ବୁଝିହେଲାନି
Whoଟା?
work in progress ଟା.
Which one?
So work in progress.
Opening stock. What is opening stock?
Opening stock means stock left out at the beginning. Closing stock means stock left out at the end. आमे प्रोडक्शन करूछंती माने गोटे थरा प्रोडक्शन कले कोन हमर बिजनेस पूरा बंद हे जाउची कि आमे बिजनेस करूछंती कंटीन्यूअस मैनर रे करबा
Yes.
हो ना नहीं मने करंतु आमे जनवरी टू मार्च गोटे क्वार्टर रे प्रोडक्शन करूछंती सो व्हाट इज द स्टॉक अवेलेबल इन योर हैंड on 1st January that is opening stock. During this quarter you are also buying some raw material or some stocks. जदि raw material हमें buy करी कि ताको production कले finally on 31st March, that means end of the quarter, some stock will be also remain unsold. Yes or no?
Awesome.
That is closing stock of finished goods. What is the stock of finished goods at the beginning? What is the stock of finished goods at the end? So here I am taking the time period as 1 quarter. If your production duration is 6 months, then accordingly you have to deal with it. If it is weekly or daily,
Yes.
at the beginning, what is the stock? At the end, what is the stock?
So what is work in progress cost?
Work in progress means semi-finished goods. Madam, मने करंतु आपण तयारी करछन्ती shoe making factory.
ଟିକେ slide करो last time ଟିକେ slide करो ମୁଁ कोन पे उठेली
Last slide, this slide. Stock of finished goods.
वो सर हां हां ठीक है
Okay. So, someone is asking that, sir, what is work in progress? Work in progress means what? Semi-finished goods. That means some of the goods that, we have already utilized the raw material, but we could not able to achieve the finished goods. It is under process. मने करंतु आपण शू मेकिंग फैक्ट्री आपनकर अछि शू मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैक्ट्री. So शू मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैक्ट्री पई आपनकर ए जो कंप्लीट शू आपण प्रोडक्शन करिया पई आपनर कोन दरकार सॉरी just a minute. So let's say you are producing a particular shoe. Anyway, छोड़ो. The pen is not working. So here shoe means what? Shoe is the complete product, finished product. So shoe production करिया पई हमहु कोन दरकार प्रथमे तार जो बेस जोडा कोजते shoe रा sole सेटा में प्रोडक्शन करिबा तापरे upper part mesh. Let's say you have already produced the base part sole, or you have also produced the upper part, that is mesh, but still now you have not combined together. दीटा जाक जदि हमें combine करिबा तो तापरे जाइना shoe टा तयारी हबो ना, complete shoe. So हमें rubber use करी कि already sole use करछंती, sole हमें पाई सरछंती, बुझियो छ ना नहीं? That is partly finished, partly not yet finished. So whenever we completely, so upper part आउ तार base part जोटा कोछि sole, दीटा जाक जदि हमें add करी कि completely जेतेबेले shoe हमें तयारी करछंती, that can be known as the complete goods or finished goods. Okay. But whenever we are producing, first let's say we are producing the sole of this shoe, again upper part of the shoe. So here some of the stock relating to upper part and lower part is also available. That means sole as well as upper part, the mesh is available. So that is what is the stock available at the beginning? That is opening stock of WIP. What is the stock available at the end? That is the closing stock of WIP. Work in progress or semi-finished goods. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Any more query? So did you understand how to deal with this raw material? When opening stock and closing stock raw material is there, opening stock and closing stock WIP is there, opening stock and closing stock of finished goods is there. Okay. So in order to calculate the raw material consumed, we have to deal with the opening stock of material as well as closing stock of material. Then, in order to compute this wash cost, so we have to add the factory overhead with prime cost. Then we have to add opening stock of WIP, deduct closing stock of WIP in order to get the wash cost or factory cost. But whenever we are dealing with the opening edge and closing stock of finished goods, then first we have to identify what is the cost of production. So in cost of production, we have to add some opening stock of finished goods and deduct closing stock of finished goods in order to get the cost of goods sold or total cost of the product. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So in this way, we'll deal with this cost sheet. So these are the advantages of cost sheets. That means it discloses the total cost as well as cost per unit produced during a particular period. We have already discussed. Again, it enables the manufacturer to keep a close watch and control over cost of production, because your total cost can be break up into various parts, like your factory cost or works cost, again your cost of production, your cost of sales. So under each and every part we can focus. We can give our more focus on each and every activity, each and every breakup of the cost in order to control over the cost. Again, helps to conduct comparative study of current cost with previous cost, actual cost with predetermined cost, or standard cost with other costs. That means, let's say this quarter we are producing, our total cost of production is 1 lakh. So we can compare the cost of production of this quarter with the cost of production of the previous quarter or last year this quarter. Comparative study is possible. Again, cost sheet also helps the manufacturer to frame and follow suitable production policy. Let's say you are the manufacturer, you can able to frame your suitable production policy. What will be your duration of the production, and whenever you are producing, what are the rules or what are the standards you need to follow. So you can able to fix it. Again, cost sheet also helps in fixation of selling price accurately, as we have already discussed. Unless until we are getting the cost price of a product, we cannot able to fix the selling price. We must know the cost price of a product first. Again, it helps to minimize the cost of production. How? Because each and every activities can be easily monitored. So whenever you are closely monitoring each and every activities, you can able to minimize the cost to some extent. Again, it helps to submit quotations with reasonable degree of accuracy against tenders for the supply of goods. If you are preparing the cost sheet, you can able to know what is the cost per unit or total cost of your products. On the basis of that, you can participate in the tender process and you can quote your price of the product in that particular tender. Okay, let's say one private hospital is asking you, you are the bakery manufacturer, one private hospital is asking you, in each and every day, in the morning you need to provide 5,000 units of bread, and in the evening you need to provide 5,000 units of bread. So at what price or what cost you can able to provide? So whenever you are participating in this tender process, so you need to first know about what is the total cost as well as per unit cost. So in order to know the total cost and per unit cost, we need to prepare the cost sheet.
Yes.
So that you can able to quote in your tender process. Okay, so these are the advantages of cost sheet. Is it clear?
Yes.
Sir, manufacturing license, sir, manufacturing license जो करा जाए सेटा को ओवरहेड न work for factory cost of production कोथरे सेटा न administration charges जो सर
Manufacturing license.
जो सपोज फैक्ट्री स्टार्ट कला जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग लाइसेंस था रिन्यू भी करे पड़े इयरली सेटा को कॉस्ट न को ओवरहेड न जानि हो सर
नहीं देखो तो से मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट जेतोले लाइसेंस ता आपण लाइसेंस ता फॉर ए पीरियड ऑफ हाउ मेनी डेज और व्हाट इज द ड्यूरेशन
सर 1 ईयर पे
जदी 1 ईयर पे आपण पाउछंदी 1 ईयर रे केतना साइकिल आपण प्रोडक्शन करूछंदी सेही बेसिस रे आपण चार्ज करिवे ताको इनडायरेक्ट पळे आसीबो जदी आपण गोटे लॉट पे प्रोडक्शन रे आसुजी तबे से मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड रे सेटा डायरेक्ट पळे आसीबो
Sir, whatever question may come in the exam from this chapter.
In this chapter, preparation of cost sheet जोटा कहले तीनटा अपन को ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ कॉस्ट, ओपनिंग स्टॉक, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक, जोटा रिलेटिंग टू रॉ मटेरियल, WIP एंड finished goods or final product. You need to treat with that. बुझियो ना, this is very simple. आ आपण जो कहउछंती कंपोजिट मल्टीपल प्रोडक्ट सेमती मल्टीपल प्रोडक्ट रो कोनसी प्रकार कॉस्ट शीट रे प्रॉब्लम आसे नाही कि आसीबो नाही. So whenever you are getting, you will get the problem for generally single product. Okay, but your duty is to classify that this is a particular expenses. It is coming under where, whether it is coming under direct expenses like your direct material, direct labor and direct expenses, or it is coming under indirect expenses. If it is indirect expenses, then aggregation of indirect expenses is overhead. So under which overhead is this particular expenses is coming? So that you need to identify. Otherwise, what will happen? Sometimes the selling and distribution overhead you can put in office and administration overhead or factory overhead. As a result, your breakup of cost, that means your work cost or cost of production or cost of sales or prime cost, that will be different. And finally, you will get the total cost as sale. And you must be also very, very careful about what are the costs which are excluded from the cost sheet. That we have already discussed. Pure financial charges. Suppose one component is given interest on loan. So interest on loan is not a component of cost for the cost sheet. So you must be very, very cautious regarding that. Your duty is to identify the cost whenever you are going to prepare the cost. Okay, and treatment केवल जदि कहिबे आपनकर treatment relating to stock of raw materials, stock of semi finished goods and stock of finished goods रे ताको जेमिति मोबाइल कोडी कोडी ट्रीट हबो ताको टिके ठीक अछि
सर बॉडी जो इलस्ट्रेशन दे सर प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स किछटा कर दिया सर
बुझि पाले नहीं
सर बुक के जो इलस्ट्रेशन दे छी सर एग्जांपल सर सेटा प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम में कर देतले और क्लियर हे त सर
प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम कोडी दिटा करथिला आउट क्लियर हे थांदा प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम तो देखेबा पई मु पूरा ये करि कि अछि किंतु कोन करिबा टाइम ऑलरेडी क्रॉस्ड
सर
नेक्स्ट पॉइंट हैं
सेटा को यूनिट मॉड्यूल
यस
एटा को यूनिट सर
दिस इज यूनिट 1 स्टेटमेंट ऑफ कॉस्ट
सर नेक्स्ट क्लास में सर गोटे प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम कर दो सर
हैं
नेक्स्ट क्लास रे सर गोटे प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम कर दो जाके
ठीक अछि गोटे प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम स्टार्ट करके देन विल स्टार्ट द मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग इज इट फाइन
जी जी
आई विल शो यू and I'll share you if you'll also search in the Google problem and solutions on cost sheet, you can able to get thousands of PDF books also you will get.
Okay sir,
okay
sir.
So anyway, thank you so much
sir. What is the frequency of preparation of this cost sheet? Whether it is annually prepared or a lot is prepared after the a lot is prepared, and what is the frequency of this preparation of this cost sheet?
Cost sheet
Yes.
on the basis of your production policy and production cycle.
Production cycle, that means when a lot is prepared,
देखो किछि प्रोडक्ट अछि आपनकर कोन अछि पर डे आपन को प्रिपेयर करिया को पड़िबो सकाळे आपन इनपुट देले एंड ऑफ द डे you will get the output finished product. So in that case you have to prepare your cost sheet on daily basis. गोटे दिन रे आपण 1000 यूनिट प्रोडक्शन करूछंती 1000 यूनिट पय केते कॉस्ट टोटल होछि you can able to prepare. Suppose गोटे यूनिट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट आपण इनपुट रॉ मटेरियल देले it will take some process and finally you will get after 7 days. So weekly you will prepare cost sheet. जदि आपण कहउछंती गोटे आजिकर डेट रे हम इनपुट प्रोवाइड करबा it will take 15 days to get the complete product. So here fortnightly you need to prepare the cost sheet. If you are getting your output at the end of the month, monthly, quarterly, half yearly, are you getting? On the basis of your nature of product as well as production cycle, production policy, you need to fix the production period, okay, for preparation of cost sheet.
Sir,
is it fine to all of you?
Sir, किछि recommended book costing ऊपर recommended books
costing ऊपर standard books जदि आपण देखिबे MNR रा cost and management accounting, okay.
Sir, probable question please upon next class.
Probable question कोन मैडम प्रॉब्लम आपण जदि जानिले आपण probable question हबो जदि cost sheet रे theory आसेला लिखिबारे आपनकर कोन असुविधा अछि what is cost sheet, what are the objective of cost sheet, what are the characteristics of cost sheet, what are the various types of costs that we need to deal whenever we are preparing the cost sheet. Buchi parchante na nai?
Yes sir, yes.
Are you get? Is it fine to all of you?
Yes.
Yes sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.